So we have the handle put on now, and it still needs a little more work, but I have to get on with the videos. Most of them have been pretty long. I'm going to try to shorten them up. I had a spout that I made that I used just a marker, and I wrapped clay around it, and then I had to bend it carefully and make sure there's a clear passageway through the tube on the inside, so everything will go through. And it's still leather hard. I made some markings on it to help line it up on my teapot, and I made some markings down here as well. The top is not finished yet. The texture is not finished yet, but I just want to get it put on because otherwise it'll start to dry out too much. So the next thing I'm going to do is, as long as I know where the spout is going to go, I have to do two things. The first thing I have to do is in the middle, right here in this solid space, I have to poke a couple of holes. For a small teapot like this, I might just poke 3 or 4 holes. And this is essentially to catch any kind of loose tea debris, and it also works as a way to make the tea come out in a little bit more of an even stream. I think we might do 5 on this one. If you don't put these little holes in, you can still have a teapot, but you run the risk of the tea coming out too fast. And if you do loose leaf tea, the little leaves might transfer through. This is just helpful to poke a little bit, poke a couple holes. There are fancy hole pokers, but I just used a stick. I'm a firm believer in use what you have. Okay, so adjust this just a bit. And now all I'm going to do is slip and score to put this one on, and then the top is kind of messed up. So I'm going to do a few things to the top. I'm going to smooth this lid out a little bit and take my carving tool and shave that down. Use my fingers. I want to make sure to blow out any debris, because any kind of little debris will catch glaze, and when we're glazing them, if you have a bunch of glaze gunked up in your tube, your teapot won't work very well. So anyway, once I get the basic shape and I have kind of a spout, I want mine to be slightly turned outward. Then I have another piece of clay that I've cut that's the same consistency, a nice leather hard, and I'm going to slip, score, and smear that on top so that when I pour it, it'll have a more of a concentrated pour. If I just let it go like this, the tea would go everywhere. So I'm going to put a top on it so the tea pouring will be small and concise.